I'm here with Richard Leiter today, and we are inviting Richard to come to the Central Conversation on Valentine's Day this coming week. So we're excited about that. Richard, I'd like to start these interviews with our conversation starters with two key questions. The first is, where are you today? And you can answer that in any way you like. And what is the heart of the matter for you now, Richard?
Well, I'm Richard. I'm in my office in Minneapolis with a fire going on. It's warming me from behind, making me feel good with winter outside. And I'm living with a real sense of hope. I'm reading the book by a friend and colleague of mine, Doug Abrams, called The Book of Hope, which is actually the Jane Goodall story about how she maintains hope in spite of it all. And it reminded me as I read it, and as I talked with Doug, I just talked with him in Costa Rica just a couple of weeks ago, but about how important and fundamental hope is right now with the great reimagining that's going on with all of us and all surrounding us. So in my heart, I have a renewed sense of hope today.
Well, that's a longer conversation we could have about hope. I'm reading that book as well and finding it really good. Hope as different than optimism sometimes, et cetera. But really what we want to talk about today is what our intention is for our celebration of Valentine's Day in our central conversation on Monday. What would you like to bring to us, Richard?
Well, what I'd like to do is that purpose is my thread, my theme that I've held on to now for 5 decades. And purpose is always beyond the self. Valentine's Day is always beyond the self. It's about who we bring to others and how we relate in those ways, no matter who those others are. It doesn't have to be a romantic. It can be your neighbor or your pet for that matter. So what I bring is I'm living in the great reimagining right now. They call it the great resignation, but the great reimagining is yearning for a sense of hope and purpose. And so I want to renew on Valentine's Day that sense of purpose beyond the self. And I want to do it in an enjoyable, fun, delicious, if you will, way by talking about convening the ultimate dinner party and challenging people to how to go about convening the ultimate dinner party. And I learned about the ultimate dinner party from the man who actually created the concept. His name is Richard Saul Wurman, who's the founder of TED. And TED Talks in 1984 were spawned or ignited by the ultimate dinner party, where he invited people from technology, entertainment, and design, TED, to a dinner party. And from that, then here we are, billions of people every year watching TED Talks. So we're going to have our own ultimate dinner party on Valentine's Day.
So we're reclaiming Valentine's Day from Hallmark and injecting some purpose into our gathering, while at the same time having fun and engaging in joyous conversation. And we have a surprise that we'll be announcing hopefully on Monday as well, as how we are going to have an ultimate dinner party as a convening community. So Richard, could you just give us the formula for the ultimate dinner party that you've created?
Well, you're going to get a blog, and the blog is called Convening the Ultimate Dinner Party. And it's asking you, first of all, I have the blog right here in paper, but do you have the curiosity gene? Mm-hmm. What are you really curious about? What are the questions that you would like to quest or, convene? So the recipe for the ultimate dinner party is GQ plus GP plus GF equals PF. So good question is GQ. What is your good question that you'd love to have 6 people sit around the table with a glass of wine and good food or whatever your choice is to discuss? Who are the good people? Who are the people, not good people as in good people, but people you would choose sticking with kind of the G, who are the people that you would choose to sit around the table with? And I'll give you an example of mine in a minute. And then GF is good food.
Yeah.
And so if you have a good question, good people, and good food, hopefully what you'll get is a purposeful, F-U-L-L, conversation. And at the end of which you will feel filled and fulfilled.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, for example, my ultimate dinner party, I'd follow this recipe. The question that is in the blog you'll get is, can I make my life count? How and why can I make my life count at my age and stage? Who are the people? I would invite Parker Palmer, Richard Rohr, Joan Halifax, Doug Abrams, who wrote the Book of Joy, maybe a couple of others. Good food. I love Frog's Leap organic wine. I would have a glass of Frog's Leap Merlot and some healthy snacks. And at the end of which I would I would feel connected, heard, and fulfilled.
Wow.
Now, so that's my example there. But the question is not me, it's like you and you, Terry, and the people who you're inviting into this conversation on Monday. I think it'll be a lot of fun to hear, and we'll hear from some of them. What's their recipe?
Yeah. I'm so glad you're joining us again. You're a great friend of CPL, Richard. So thank you so much for coming in. Look forward to Monday.
Me too. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks, Terry.